Here to talk about Persona 5X, and that was announced. It wasn't. I thought it was a new announcement, but it is. It's not. This was teased back in April of 2021, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a teaser. I was like, "What?" There was a teaser for this back then, but this is being done by the publisher is Perfect World Games.
Perfect World, right?
And then the developer is Black Wings Game Studio, and those are both out of China. And
Right.
this is coming for iOS and Android. It's going to be free to play with in-app purchases, or like item-based in-app purchases. I'm getting the news right here from Gematsu. This is not on the screen right now, but I'm going to roll the trailer at least.
It looks really good, by the way. You've seen the trailer yourself?
I watched both of the trailers. The game, there's a gameplay trailer, and what I'm showing right now is the concept trailer. They look. I was like,
it looks like Persona 5.
It looks like Persona 5.
So good. Yeah, it looks so good.
It's one of those things where, of course, how anime art style can just look good on anything sometimes, but this just looked like, I'm like, what's the difference between this and the PS5?
But the actual, like, in the gameplay trailer, like when you see the battle, kind of, it's really close to the actual battles in P5. So
it's very close.
I mean, that being said, like P5 is a turn-based RPG, so it's not like action or anything.
It's not like it's taxing.
But it looks. If you didn't tell me that it was a mobile game, like you showed me this trailer, just like, hey, watch this, I would be so hyped. I'd be like, holy shit, it's like a spin-off. And then they'd be like, for mobile. And I would be like, what?
Yeah. You hear for mobile. It's one of the rare cases
it's
where
a big turnoff. Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of the rare cases for me where I saw for mobile and I said, oh, wait, what? This is and then I looked at this trailer.
And then it's like, this, and then I was really like, good looking.
Dang, this reminds me of remember when games first started coming to mobile and it was just like, this is, and of course you had to pay for them at that point. It wasn't like free to play was a thing for the most part, but it was just like, okay, I can take games on the go, and like phone technology is like, it's legit. You know what I mean? I had the same feeling when I was looking at this, like, dang, why don't I have a Switch right now? Why don't I have, it looks good,
Well, at the very least, the pre-rendered cutscene looks good, and the battle, like how many seconds total of battle we've seen, look good. But yeah, no. I think just mobile games in general is like, people don't like mobile games.
Yeah.
Or at least people that don't play mobile games don't like mobile games. I don't know, yeah.
I'm kind of curious to see, and I'm going to pull up the gameplay trailer right now because that's the one that we were just talking about. That looks it starts out in the Velvet Room where the concept trailer left off, and they've got it in this time the anime, just straight up full-on anime cutscene type thing going on, and that transitions over. But yeah, I mean, when you think mobile games, you think about gacha, and you think about all these other systems that are meant to get your money. And this one, they said it's going to be item based, and I don't really, they'll go into details about that later, but maybe we'll find out more soon because you can sign up for is it the beta? Yeah, I
think it's like early. Yeah, maybe it's a beta. But is it open only to people in China?
It's only for people in China starting from March 29th. And that's going to be on PC and Android. So I'm guessing something like BlueStacks or maybe
like an Android emulator for it.
Yeah. So like I said, you're looking at gameplay right now, dude. It just looks good. I don't know what else to say. All the voice acting is in Japanese. When you listen to the trailer, everything is in Japanese except for the text. Right. And they were saying, as far as the story is going, this is being done, at least supervised by, SEGA ATLUS, the P Studio. They are supervising the development and providing resources, while, the actual development, distribution, and operation of the title is being done by Perfect World and Black Wings. They've got the original character designer doing, the designs for the main character, and I assume, all the other characters too. So, I mean, like, we've learned this in the past. Whenever Atlus does something Persona related, they don't skimp on it. They don't just hand it off. You know what I mean? Even Strikers, that was full on.
Like Scramble, you mean? Yeah, I mean,
it's Scramble. Sorry.
Well, Strikers in Japan and Scramble and outside of Japan, but yeah.
Yeah.
Or did I get that backwards? I don't know. Anyways, it's the same game.
Yeah, yeah. And they did a great job with that. I mean, I remember watching you play it, and you were like, "Dude, this is just." I know this is done by like the Koei Tecmo people, you know, but they did a
Yeah, they
darn
did it.
good
They did a really
job.
good job. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Um, do you have like I don't know? Is there anything that as a Persona fan, because they do show Joker at the end of this, and they did say that this is actually a it is a spinoff, but featuring a new band of Phantom Thieves.
Yep.
And you do have like there is a new mascot character, like an owl, who can talk. That's his thing. It looks kind of cool though. I like the character designs for this, and but I don't know like when it comes to like what persona this is because they do reveal some personas in here, and I'm like I don't know what it is, but it looks cool. It looks
I
cool.
think the persona that the main character has is a new persona.
Okay, okay,
They're not like giving him a reused one or a generic one from the game, so that's really cool. Like it's not Arsene or anything like that.
right.
Um, but the character designs do look really good. They're on point. They fit the world extremely well. It looks like there's a new Velvet Room attendant. It's like in the beginning of the gameplay trailer. It's like the blonde kind of female. She's brand new. I've never seen her before.
Right, right.
So that's cool. Igor appears to be back in. I mean, you've never played P5.
Who was in? Was he technically in P4, P3?
He's in every Persona game,
in
but
everyone,
there's
then.
a really
I've seen him
big
then.
like story twist involving Igor. If you haven't played 5, and yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, I guess no
But
spoilers.
basically, like this sounds like it's taking place after 5, I guess. So if it is canon, then it would be after 5, possibly somewhere before or around the same time as Strikers. I don't know.
Okay, okay. Well, it looks. I mean, it according to get on to the story of the game is players will take on the role of a student attending classes during the day and participating, in your after school activities such as baseball or watching movies with friends, that sort of thing. And then after school, you can go and infiltrate the other world, which on the website is called the metaverse. Officially,
Yep.
that's the title for it. And then you can, form different which appears in different forms of palaces with different themes, and then you use your personas to go in and do. Yeah, I mean it's Persona. It's something different in that respect, So
Yeah, that's just that you just described Persona 5 basically.
I just described it. I am curious. The theme for this game is desire. Is Persona 5's theme also about desire?
Yep, basically, kind of. Well, like I was gonna speak Japanese, but like distorted desires, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. This one has, I think it's saying like the tells the story of students who have awakened to their personas, facing difficulties together in an era of low desire.
That's weird. I don't know what low desire means.
Low desire. Do you have motivation? I guess I don't know.
That's me every day of my life. Yeah.
That's every day. We're looking at this. But yeah, all all the text and everything. This is in Japanese, not Japanese, but Chinese. So I mean, obviously, we can't really read much of this. Maybe her name is Shin Arai. Her name might be Arai, actually. I don't know. Who knows?
You're trying to read a Chinese name?
I'm trying to read a Chinese name, comparing it to Japanese.
Are you trying to read a Japanese name written down in Chinese? Yeah.
Yeah, we have no clue what it is. But you can see some of the characters here as we scroll through them. That's the main character, which still called protagonist. There you go.
Oh yeah, he's probably nameless because you can always name your protagonist in Persona.
So that's it. That's his persona. Whatever that gold X. I guess the X for the game also. Yeah, those are some X pistols, man.
Yeah, that's cool.
Dude's holding some some dualies over here. And then I guess the owl turns into a mecha owl at one point.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Does Morgana also have a form that they're able to fight in like this? Similar?
So
Anything?
Morgana can turn into a cat bus.
I think this owl wins. The owl wins. The owl might win right there. But yeah, continue the tradition of short-haired girls. Thank you, Persona.
Yeah, looks pretty good.
Looks pretty good. There's not, like I said, there's not much about this, but it just did come out of left field. I was just on the internet, and I was just like, oh, there's a new Persona.
Yeah, I
There's a
wonder if we're
new
gonna get
Persona.
like, I wonder if we're gonna get a Japanese release or an English release because it's so far like, it looks like it's the Chinese market only, right?
Is what it's at least from the information we have. Yeah, that's and whoever the dev staff and the publisher and everything. Yeah, that's
So like, is it canon? Is like that's a big deal to Persona fans who want to keep up with the whole like story and franchise.
I,
So yeah, I
yeah.
don't know. It needs to like I want to know if it's gonna come out in other regions, and if so, like when.
I think the win is the bigger question. And the thing is all the voice acting is already done in Japanese, or at least for the trailer. So it would
Yep.
make sense for them to release it in Japan at the very minimal. But then they also know, like, I think they've always done good by their fans. You know what I mean? So I have a hard time thinking that it's just going to be for China, like forever, like just locked behind that part of the App Store. Um, Yeah, that would be strange if that were something that they were to like choose to do. Especially
Right.
because, they got pictures of homie with the other homies in there. So I don't know.
If it's not like if it's not canon, then maybe they won't bring it over. But I feel like if they want this story, if they're like, oh, this story is definitely canon or whatever, then they'll probably try to bring it over because I think lots of people care about playing through the whole like, you know, uh timeline, I guess, the whole story. So I want to know. Yeah, I just want to know if it's gonna be canon, and then if they're gonna bring it over, if it is, and who's
Have
gonna
they
bring it over? Like Perfect World will bring it over, probably, or not Perfect World. Perfect World publishes games in English, do they, or do they not?
so that is a good question. I don't know. Yes, they do. They technically do. Because they do Tower of Fantasy. I don't know if
Oh,
they
okay.
publish Tower of Fantasy like here or if they got someone else to localize it or whatever, but they do Tower of Fantasy. They also do, and it took me a while to find this. I was like, what the heck is this game? It's Million Arthur. It's a Square Enix game.
So Perfect World makes it or publishes it?
Is Publishes it in China. So this is like the opposite for them.
Oh,
But
okay.
for what they actually make, yeah, Tower of Fantasy um, is what they would have brought to us. So which that just seems weird. Would that just be weird though? Like they make it like Atlas and Sega are supervising it, and then they bring it back over to other parts of the world. It seems like a weird roundabout way, but whatever happens. Because I was gonna ask you, like, has there ever been like um a non canon Persona, like a spin off sequel or anything like that?
I think the newer dancing ones are. I think P3D and P5D are non-canon. I think.
Oh wow, they were non canon. I thought they were like
Yeah,
canon.
3 and 5 are non-canon.
Oh, but 4
4 is canon.
But 4 is canon. Okay. That is okay. Okay. What about that one? Was it a DS game or a 3DS game?
Are you thinking of Q?
Q, yeah, yeah. Was
Yeah,
that
Q and Q2 are both canon.
okay? Okay. So there, I mean, I guess at least there's a precedent of it happening where it's not a spinoff that is canon or not canon. Not canon
Yeah,
happening. So there,
I'm pretty sure because there's no story in 3, 5, and 5 and sorry in 3D and 5D. There's no story, which means there's nothing to be canon or non-canon.
okay. And then we have Arena. That's canon too.
Yeah,
So
it is. Yeah, it is.
so. I mean, for them to put this much work into it, I feel like it'll be canon. I feel like they'll bring it over. It just seems it looks too good not to bring over, especially if they want to make more money from their microtransactions. They know fans are around the world, so I think it's just a matter of time. Maybe they're just testing it there, and maybe it'll release there first and go undergo like a huge localization type deal. Unless there's just something we don't know. It doesn't make sense for them to hold it back though.
Well, they know. I mean, okay, so obviously Persona has a really big like fan following all around the world.
Yeah.
Sega knows this. I mean, we don't know the details of their business deal. Like, they could have been like, okay, like Perfect World might have approached Sega, and then They're like, we want to make a Persona game, and then
Mm-hmm.
SEGA was like, okay, you can, but as like a terms of like of this deal, like we get to publish it worldwide, like later or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really interesting because of the whole in-game transaction part of it
Yeah,
is, are they testing something potentially? Like, is this a test for some other persona thing that they might be cooking up? I don't know, but I'm just wondering because like what about it? I mean, it says items, but is it even necessary? Because this could have, like, from what we're looking at, this could have been on a Switch. This could have been on anything else. But we know, like, if you're releasing it in China, the
it
Switch
has to be
and
like mobile, basically.
it has
Yeah,
to be mobile, right? So that, I mean, that gives us, okay, this is why it's on mobile. Then the question is, well, why don't they just charge an upfront fee? If instead of in-game like items.
yeah. I just don't think because like I think China like just like the mobile market in China is so big, like so big that it like doesn't make sense to make console games or like a non-gacha game. I think in China.
Yeah, yeah.
So like that's just like a difference in like the gaming culture. I think because like this is the question that I've asked like myself when it comes to MiHoYo, like for Genshin and Honkai. Like those games are so good in terms of cutscenes. I don't know if
Hmm.
you've ever seen like a Honkai cutscene, but they're like incredible, like top tier anime basically.
Hmm.
And Genshin world design, character design, really really good. A lot of those games are good,
Right,
but
right.
at the end of the day, they're still gacha games. So I've always been like, oh, why doesn't MiHoYo just like make a game, like make a console game that's $60 that I would pay for? And I think it's just because like they make so much money, like way too much money on gacha for them to basically ignore that kind of market. And I think with a Chinese developer making a game for the Chinese market, like it has to be gacha. Like it like it's the only way for them to make money. Not the only way, but like gaming traditionally, just like in China, is like it's just tough. Like consoles don't sell as much. Like it wasn't until
No.
like the last 10, 15, maybe 10 years that like they were even able to get
They
consoles.
were able, yeah, yeah. Because
Yeah,
remember
so
there
like
were,
the
what was the? I remember the Nintendo Wii. There was a knockoff called the Nintendo Woo.
oh
I'll
was
never,
there?
I'll never forget this because I was just looking there. I mean, there was always those knockoff consoles. The Sony it wasn't a PlayStation. It was something else station. But like you said, it wasn't until X amount of years before, within the past 10 years, they really could even get official consoles that Sony or Nintendo were selling in the region. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
um, I mean, you have a good point there. And we've got a Genshin cutscene up right now. And like you said, I mean, they're basically full on cutscenes. They look great, and you're getting a quality experience. And I think a lot of people would ask the question like, why do I have to roll for Genshin instead of just play? And it's I don't know how far they're going to go into the gotcha element for P5. I feel like they can't go too far because I don't think fans would be. I can't see fans being accepting of that outside of China. Maybe I don't know about the rest of like. I really don't. I don't know. Depends on how hard they lean into it.
Yeah, I
You
just
know.
think like I mean like mobile games is a huge stigma for a lot of people here. I mean I
Mm-hmm.
think the initial reaction regarding Persona 5X was kind of the same all around the internet, for at least where I've seen, where it's like, oh, this is good. Oh, mobile? Like a lot of people have that same thing where it's like, oh, like it's kind of like the initial like, oh, this like kind of happiness or the kind of like surprise or pleasant surprise regarding the news regarding the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same reaction when they realize that it's actually a mobile game and they're like, oh, I don't know anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess my question for you as a Persona fan, what do you hope that this game will be? Just initially looking at it, and like what are your hopes for it?
I hope that it'll be a really good side non-canon game so I can ignore it and not feel bad. Because I don't play mobile, I just don't play mobile games. I'm not a mobile gamer. I have like if you take like my phone, you like go look at my apps and you go to the like the part where it says my game folder or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I have games installed on my phone. I don't play them. I basically do like login bonuses for stuff, and then
Hmm.
I like kind of play games, but I really don't. Like I just don't. I total every single day, I dedicate probably 20 minutes of my time to like 5 different mobile games, and that's just like me doing daily
Just like
stuff.
collecting everything. I mean,
Yeah.
what's the longest you've played a mobile game? Because for me, I would say, and this was before really like today's gotcha. It was like in the Gree, was it called Gree era or
You're
whatever?
thinking
Way
of
back.
like, well, this you're probably thinking like,
Oh, it was like 10 or 15 years ago. The internet's doing that weird thing again. Don't worry, people. I think we're
sorry,
still
yeah,
live.
no, I just, yeah,
Oh, okay, we're good. We're good. Okay.
sorry, yeah, you're thinking of like Puzzles and Dragons kind of era.
Before, yeah, like I would say like the 5 years before Puzzle and Dragons, 5, 3, whatever, X amount of
Uh-huh.
years before, because I think was it called Glee? Gree? There was Gree, and then there was like DNA, right?
Yeah,
And then Puzzle and Dragons, and what was the other one where you shot balls out or something like that? Fudge, Monster Strike. Sorry. Then it was like Puzzle Dragon Monster Strike era. Then it transitioned to Grand Blue Psy Games era, and then we went to Psy Games was just doing Psy Games. Then FGO, and now we're in what era are we in now?
like who are the biggest publishers for mobile gaming right
Yeah,
now?
who's
I
the
guess
biggest now?
MiHoYo, right? And
MiHoYo,
like,
yeah. These action, that's right. A lot of action games out of Taiwan, China, yeah, that area. You
yeah,
think about
Taiwan,
it.
China, the developers are huge for mobile gaming. In Japan, though, you might think of like stuff like Bang Dream or whatever, right?
Oh yeah, Bang Dream.
D for DJ and what is it? What's the Uma Musume maybe?
Uma Musume is really big. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we have those.
No, I don't spend too much time. I mean, the most I've ever played recently is probably like 40 minutes on playing Nikke.
That game where the jiggles are jiggling, man.
Yeah, no, it's insane.
The jiggles are jiggling, man.
It's pretty nuts. Yeah,
they get you. They get you with the jiggles.
well, actually, I actually do like the character design. I mean, like, I played.
You want you like the character to. Honestly, the gameplay was solid. I downloaded it. I played it for like 10 or 15 minutes. I couldn't get into the story. Like, why is this girl just always fawning over me, and why is she just like, I don't know. This is kind of annoying. But the gameplay was actually kind of fun. The way
It's like a that's like a janky time crisis. Yeah,
yeah,
that's the best way to put it. Yeah, it's a janky time crisis.
oh, let me see if I can find some actual gameplay of it. Right,
Actual gameplay. Yeah,
yeah.
where you're
This
sliding.
is from PC, but you kind of like you can explain what you do in the game.
What's the gameplay like? Yeah, janky time crisis. Like if you're watching the video podcast, like it's not that off. I think.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the coolest thing about this game is that it is the screen ratio. If you're playing it on your phone, it is only what do you call it? Not portrait. Yeah, portrait.
No,
yeah.
I can flip it. By the
you
way,
can
I
flip it. Oh, you can flip.
It's pretty shitty on a landscape on a phone. You can do it if you want to. Just don't. I don't recommend it.
Just don't. Do it.
But yeah, you can change the orientation. So if you're playing portrait, you focus on one girl at a time. Just her ass is on the third bottom third of the screen.
Just zoom this picture up if you're watching the podcast.
Yeah,
right, zoom it up,
and then you can tap on the other characters, and it'll slide it'll slide over to them. But if you're playing on a tablet or a PC or whatever, it's in landscape, and you can see all of your party kind of lined up for you.
you're tapping on them, buddy. You're tapping them.
Yeah. Well, if you're playing on a keyboard, you hit your keyboard.
You can tap your keyboards. Yeah. I mean, it's an engaging gameplay.
It's engaging, yeah, exactly.
It is engaging gameplay. I will say that.
Eyes off it, yeah.
I will say, like moment to moment, it was like, okay, this is actually pretty cool. I can see the strategy when it gets kind of chaotic, but the outside part of that, and they do have a button where you can collect everything. I was like, okay, thank you for having a button where I can collect all my daily stuff. That just press it once, I get everything. That's nice. But yeah, everything else where I'm just like the dialogue and like, why are we here? Why do they just keep looking at me? Anyways.
But yeah, I mean, like, but Nikke is a standard modern gacha game where like you'll do so much better in combat if you have the higher ranked what are they called? Nikkes? Yeah, sorry, the higher ranked Nikkes, and then you have to like upgrade them. But like, how do you upgrade them? You can get better equipment. How do you get better equipment? You can like do this thing, but like you can spend like a special currency to what, not to roll, but to like to gather more materials, that kind of thing. So you're encouraged to spend money all the time, which is how these kind of games make money.
And
And
I
I
guess
think like, yeah, that's the current that's just how mobile games are right now. Like way back when, like when mobile games were like new, I guess. And
it
I'm
was
talking
bad.
like way back when, like
was
2007 maybe. It was like you pay $5 for a game and it
pay to
just play
play.
it. Yeah, and it just like it's the game is you got it. You paid $5 for this game, and
Yeah.
it's stuff like Flappy Bird or it's stuff like Crossy Road. Do you know what I mean?
I miss those. I know I played the one I played the most was this Square Enix title. I don't know if it was their first mobile game that they made.
Oh,
Like
is this the tower defense one?
No, it was Chrono Cross. No, why am I say Chrono Cross?
Chrono Cross.
Chrono Cross. Let me look this up. Square Enix mobile game. What was it? It was like something with time too, or chaos.
Oh shit!
Chaos rings. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Chaos
Yes. And
rings,
they actually brought that to Vita. You know.
That's the trailer we're gonna look at right now.
Yeah, they brought that over to Vita. Yeah.
I think there were two. There was a sequel. I don't know if there was a third.
There's like three. There's like two sequels, man. There's Chaos Rings 3.
Jeez, man. Yeah, I played the first Chaos Ring. I beat it. I enjoyed it. Honestly, I gotta say that was the first mobile game I played all the way through, and it was like one summer I would sit on the couch and I would just play it. And it was fine, you know. I didn't have any issues playing Chaos Ring.
That's like a different era of mobile games where it's
very
like
different.
You paid for this game, and it's like Chaos Rings or it's like Infinity Blade.
It was $20. It was like $20, I think.
It was like $20. Yeah. And then you just kind of play this full ass game on your phone. Like you paid for it. You paid for the game and you play it. And then over time now, like the biggest stuff is it's gacha supported. It's even in Japan it's gacha supported. Like Uma Musume, that kind of stuff. Bang Dream is gacha supported. Looks like.
And I think we moved from like this era of just paying for the game and getting it to paying to play the game, as in everything was stamina based. Remember, like it was like, okay,
stamina base is the worst fucking thing.
You can play this game for like 10 minutes, but
and then you have to
wait 30 minutes or an hour for your whatever to refill so you can play some more, or you can pay to play now. I'm like, oh.
I'm kind of glad that we're past the stamina thing. Like now it is stuff like you can play as much as you want, but if you don't put money down, it's gonna be a little hard.
Then it's the Candy Crush thing. Then the Candy Crush thing of like, you know, you get it's all good until you get to the halfway point. We're gonna make you pay. But for a lot, like you said, a lot of these mobile games now, you can ostensibly play them. Like if I boot up Fire Emblem, is it Heroes? Yeah. If I boot up Heroes, when I played it, I played that actually a lot. I played that a pretty good chunk, and I never like, you know, I would save up for my rolls, and if I got something good, I would use it. If I didn't, then I keep playing. But I never felt like I was hindered. It was just more like, okay, if I got the better version of the same thing I got, I know it would do more damage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's, you know, it's less impeding now, but you see with Genshin, people want those better versions. They know they're there. They got to get them.
And like you spend like $50 on a roll or something, like $50 on a 10 roll. But like, I don't know. So even if Persona 5X was, you know, let's say it was like $40, but it was like still on mobile, right?
Right.
Is that better? Would you be interested in it? Would you think more people, at least outside of China, would be like, oh, now I can get behind this. I paid my $40. I get a full game, and there's no rolls, there's no gacha, there's no microtransactions. Is that going to be better received?
You know, now that you mention it, it would be weird. It would. I don't know if it would be better received just because it'd be it's fairly unprecedented. You know, like everything we just talked about was like 10, 15 years ago. So
yeah, Chaos Rings is like it's like 10 years old now.
Like it would be going back that far. 2013 for the Vita version, for goodness sake.
Yeah, this is Chaos Rings, this is Infinity Blade, this is like the Square Enix tower defense game called Crystal Defenders that I played a lot of.
I remember that.
It was really fun. It was really hard, but really fun, yeah. There's that kind of stuff. Like you pay money for this game that runs on your phone.
Yeah.
But there's no microtransactions, or at least it's not too bad. And you bought the game. Like you have it.
It was just another platform. That's literally all it was another platform. And you know, I don't know if I'd be more interested in it because at least with free to play, I can try it out, right?
Yeah. Is
But
that better then? Is free to is gacha supported better because like it's free to play and the only thing you've wasted is time
is
if you don't
time?
like it?
I think in that case it is better. It like for me, I think now like, oh, okay, like I can play it. If I don't like it, I can put it down. I can play it for like 10 minutes, you know, and put it down, whatever. You know what I mean? It's just weird when it's one of these things where it feels and looks like it's on par or parallel with the, you know, what you're used to seeing from the edition you paid for, you know, that you do pay for. That I think that's the kind of disconnect I run into. Like I wouldn't mind paying for it. Would I pay for it though on mobile? No, because I don't play mobile games. But
Yeah,
for
that's the same thing.
yeah,
Yeah, for me
yeah.
too. Like if they made Persona 5 X like $40 even, I still wouldn't be that jazzed about it because at the end of the day, I don't want to play games on my phone.
So what we're telling you people is just make it for the Switch at least. Just
At
bring
the
it to
very
the
least, the Switch or
at the very least, just make Switch support because and then put it on PC so we can play it on our Steam Deck.
yeah.
Someone's like, how do you
Steam Deck is so good.
Oh man, well, you know, we'll switch on over. Speaking of the Steam Deck, if you're interested in Persona 5X, hopefully there'll be some footage or screen capture, whatever, something coming out of this kind of beta sign up that's happening. After that, maybe we'll see some more out of it. But yeah, the Steam Deck.